The entrepreneur game isn't for the weak, man.
It's not.
It's not for the weak-minded. It's not for the weak. It's not for the honest to say, it's not for the low self-esteem. It's not for the. It takes a lot of grit and tenacity to continue to.
It does
work towards something, and you don't see the physical results that you can hold in your hand. So along your journey of having Mike's Vegan, you've had to experience major pitfalls.
There's so many that I can't even think, man.
Give me your top 3.
Biggest failure is, why didn't I get a brand new truck? Because my truck breaks down all the time.
Okay.
You know, I consider that a failure. I feel like, man, you should have put your money where your mouth is instead of doubting your business, thinking it's going to do this, and thinking that you're going to hit every city in North Carolina once a day with a 1999 truck.
Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio.
Good to be here, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking good, man.
You too, man. Thank you.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for this, man. I'm ready to
You ready for this?
speak on what's good.
Absolutely.
What's going on right now.
Right.
Thank you, Giselle. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, love. I was gonna say, you don't have to do that, love. I appreciate you, though.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for this conversation, man.
Me too, man. Let's get into it.
I think it's needed, and it's long overdue.
Yes, sir.
But thank you for being here, though. Much gratitude,
Man, thank you for having me, man. This is the second podcast I've been on, and I've been excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
This is Black Fly on the Wall, the vegan manifestation. Cameras rolling, audio on, action.
Nice. Welcome to another episode of Mental Wealthness, the Black Fly on the Wall show. I got my guy here, Mike. Introduce yourself, man.
Yes, sir. My name is Mike Roach. I'm from Burlington, North Carolina. I own a vegan comfort food restaurant / food truck. Started off with a food truck. Just here to speak on that today and how I got here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about your journey, man.
Yeah, the journey is not. It hasn't always been the best journey, you know, but it's a beautiful journey, right? A lot of when they say blood, sweat, and tears, it's really what it's been, right?
Absolutely.
It started off with a food trailer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I was working at Amazon at the time, working like graveyard shift, right? I was a dispatcher for Amazon, and I knew I had a child on the way. Mm-hmm. And I figured like this wasn't it for me, man. So every night I would read books and I would write in my journal on what I wanted to accomplish. At the house, I had sets of goals on my whiteboard that when I wake up, I look to the left, and that's what I'm aiming for that day, right? Mm-hmm. And I still have those goals, like new goals, of course.
What's good, foodies and podcast enthusiasts? We've teamed up with Mike's Vegan Grill to bring you the ultimate dining experience. Are you craving delicious vegan cuisine that's good for both your taste buds and the planet? Look no further than Mike's Vegan Grill, nestled in the heart of Greensboro, North Carolina. Picture this, mouth-watering plant-based dishes prepared with love and infused with flavors that will tantalize your senses. From their signature vegan burgers to delectable vegan desserts, Mike's Vegan Grill is redefining plant-based dining in Greensboro, North Carolina. So whether you're a vegan veteran or simply curious of trying something new, head over to Mike's Vegan Grill in Greensboro, North Carolina to be a part of the taste revolution. Mike's Vegan Grill and Black Fly on the Wall podcast, where good food and captivating stories collide.
Every night, man, I would write down things that I wanted to accomplish as far as a food trailer. So I would write down prices and stuff, and everybody that came in thought I was crazy. Like, why are you gonna do this vegan, concept?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in 2019, the opportunity opened up to me where one of my friends had contacted me and said, man, I know this has been one of your goals. There's a gentleman that I know has a food trailer for rent, and I think you should go look at it. But it's in Chapel Hill, and I was living in Charlotte at the time. And mind you, my wife now, she was my fiance then, was pregnant.
Okay.
With my daughter, London. So I said, babe, I think this is time. I think we should actually head over there, check it out. So I spoke game to the guy, and I was like, man, this is the concept. It's right in the middle of the campus. And he's like, man, I think this will work. You know, the trailer is $2,500 a month. All I had was $5,000 at the time to my name. And I put that down with the first month's rent, not knowing that I needed a commissary kitchen, not thinking about food, not thinking about anything. So I had to figure out exactly how to get there, right?
Right.
Once I started with the journey, I researched restaurants around the area, as far as Chapel Hill, Durham, Raleigh, North Carolina. And what I did was I looked at their Instagram and followed their followers. So if I have a title with my name on the page is Mike's Vegan Hot Dogs, well, they're probably going to jump because they're also vegan because they're following these vegan pages. So that's how I started my following.
There you
go. So I just, every night I would just follow before grand opening. And next thing you know, I didn't know food costs. I didn't know how I was going to do this thing, but I did it.
You just jumped.
Just jumped, man. And a lot of people didn't believe in the concept, you know, as far as family and stuff. Like, what are you doing? This is not it. This is not what we do.
Because what year was that?
This was 2019.
So 2019, still the year of being vegan and plant-based food is not where it is now 4 years later.
Yes, sir.
In comparison to that. So even being in that space in 2019 was definitely a big risk.
Yes, sir.
For you. And just the awareness that people have of what being plant-based and what being vegan is all about.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So that's really was my goal, was to try to, you know, my wife, she's been vegan for 8 years now. And when we got together, that's what it was. Like, you know, I engaged with her off of the vegan stuff. You know, that's how I got to her. Right. Because I would see her post on social media. I was like, dang, she's beautiful, man. How can I speak to her? But I saw she always posted about veganism. So I was like, hey, I need help with this diet. You know what? One thing led to another. She ended up coming to the house, cooking me something, you know. And I was very interested in that diet from then. But her vegan diet was a really healthy diet. So at a point, I was like, man, I want a hot dog. I want a hamburger. So I was like, man, it's needed.
It is.
And that's where it came, man.
There you go. There you go, man. Yeah, I've told you before. Like I've always been a fan of Mike's Vegan.
Thank you, sir.
The hot dogs.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All the food is delicious. Myself as a vegan for the last 4 years, we're always looking for alternatives.
Yes, sir.
You know, things that kind of stray away from the whole foods or the raw foods that we eat during the week. Like, you know, sometimes I want a nice cheat meal. I want a nice cheat meal. And, you know, Mike's Vegan is one of the things at the top of my list.
Thank you, brother.
So thank you for providing that space for people to have alternative foods to what they typically eat. Thank you for providing plant-based alternatives and just really, really cementing yourself in the vegan game.
Yes, sir.
And being out of North Carolina, that's vitally important.
It's an honor, brother. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about your journey and the pitfalls that you may have experienced that really propelled you to the man that you are today.
Man, what can I say? A lot of sacrifice, right? A lot of faith, a lot of belief. My belief system was high, raising my standards was high. There were certain times where, man, I thought that this wasn't it. You know, there was times I didn't make any money, man. There was some nights that I was like, man, babe, we didn't even get a customer tonight. And we were living with our in-laws. But what I did have was faith. And faith is important in my vocabulary. I'm a big believer of God. As of right now, I told you I'm practicing Ramadan. As far as for my Muslim brothers that are out there, I am Christian, but I like the same belief that they have. It's very important to me. And like I said, man, if I put God first, bro, everything will align.
No, thank you for your openness too about that. I think you know, shout out to everyone celebrating Ramadan and really, really focusing on themselves and their relationship with God and their relationship of what they have flowing with their spirituality. Yes, sir. And I think that's vitally important. Myself as a spiritual being, or as a spiritual being having a human experience is like what I like to say is that I'm I'm always open to concepts and ideas from all walks of life.
Yes, sir.
I think it's vitally important that we always just operate with love, no matter what we believe in,
Yes,
no matter how we're moving and the things that we focus on. The number one thing that we all can focus on is love.
That's right.
And treating others the way we want to be treated, and really, really
Big
moving
on that.
with that high frequency and that high vibration, no matter what you believe in.
Yes, sir.
You have to make sure that your energy is good, and make sure that you are planting positive seeds out in the world.
And that's what we try to do as human beings, most of us, right?
Yeah.
And also, man, with this journey, man, God it was number one, and action was another part. That if I didn't take action towards this, you could pray for something all you want. You could say, God, I don't want no more weeds to grow in my garden, but they're still going to grow because you're still going to have to pull them, right? You're still going to take action to pull it and build a beautiful garden. So that's one thing. It didn't matter if people were like, man, this is not going to work. I don't know what you're thinking, man. This is a barbecue state, this and that. But like I said, bro, the action and the faith is what I realized. And man, I was like, man, if I could create something that could taste just like the Zack's hot dogs in Burlington, North Carolina, that's very popular in that area, that I used to go to as a kid, you know.
I think we all have that place that we still get that hot dog from.
Right. And I wanted to create something so similar to that, but way healthier for you, where you don't feel like you did after you ate it, and that's the beauty of Mike's Vegan, man.
It is.
And it's also beautiful to see other businesses going the same way.
I do too. Yeah, because we had a lot of, since 2019, think about like the different businesses that have sprouted out of North Carolina, like the plant-based businesses, and I think you have to look at yourself as a pioneer.
Appreciate you,
and
yes,
the motivation, and I think that we all can, you all can coexist with one another in harmony to further spread the knowledge of the benefits of being vegan.
Yes, sir.
Like, what inspired you to completely change your lifestyle and transition to being vegan?
Like I said, my wife. Man, my wife is a beautiful human being, man. She's a great mother. She's just a positive role model in my life, and I knew that I had to do something spectacular to make her proud and make the family proud. Man, there's been times where, when I came from Charlotte, we were living comfortable. We had our apartment or whatever, but, this risk took for us to live with her in-laws. I mean, with my in-laws, excuse me, for like 6 months. And man, it was a beautiful moment, but it was also like, man, we got to get out of here. What do we do next? How's this going to work? And, you stay in the grind, you will flourish, and not everybody does, because I think that, how can I put this? That they don't stay committed. They just do it just as, okay, I'm gonna make money in this and get out of it. But it doesn't work like that. I think it works with loving what you do. But my wife, man, she's so supportive, man. As of right now, she's a stay-at-home mom, and she does a wonderful job with my daughter.
Nice.
She's raising that beautiful girl to be the best human being that I can know, man. And it's tough being away from them a lot through the work ethic. But, hopefully God will bless me to spend more time with them in the future while I get this up and going. My goal is to take this thing nationwide. And hopefully
you can do it.
Sit back and enjoy the ride, right?
Absolutely.
But we have to put things in play first, and that's where I'm stuck at right now.
And whenever you heard the word perseverance, how does that make you feel? Like, how does that word resonate with you?
It's powerful. It just means I feel like it just got to keep going, bro.
And I think we was talking off camera that perseverance and faith are synonymous, because you wouldn't persevere and push yourself to continue to work towards that goal that you want to achieve if you didn't have faith that you could achieve it. Earl Nightingale says that once we birth the idea or the concept in our mind, the fact that we have that idea or that concept shows us that we can achieve it. So there's nothing that we can think of that we can't achieve. All thoughts that come across our mind that enter into our consciousness, we can absolutely achieve. It's all about having the perseverance.
That's correct.
To go after it and to make it happen.
Yes, sir.
We don't become anything that we don't think about. So everything that we are, we've thought about. Like you thought about.
As a man thinketh.
As a man thinketh. Like, so you've thought of, you know, and I think that I love that book by James Allen. Like, you thought about Mike's Vegan before you even had the truck.
Yes, sir.
You saw it. You saw the colors that you wanted to use. You saw the type of menu you wanted to have. You saw yourself moving into, and we'll talk about the restaurant in a few, but you saw yourself having a restaurant. You saw yourself going nationwide. You see all of these things that are manifesting into reality. And I think it's important for every individual to be able to look at a mic, and whether it's not a mic that they know, but they can look at someone in their ecosystem or somebody that inspires them and says, this is simply a human being that's living in his reality or her reality based on their thoughts, things that they have thought of that are now their living reality. And I think that's very critical for young people to understand, for kids to understand, that they have to be conscious of the things that they think about, because that will manifest into reality.
Yes, sir.
Hey, are you looking for your dream home in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, look no further. 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐥 Group is Charlotte's premier real estate brokerage. Their team of experienced agents will work to find you the perfect property in the most sought-after neighborhoods. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or looking to upgrade, 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐥 Group has a diverse range of options to fit your unique needs and budget. Their slogan, "Find out why we're different," makes them your premier real estate choice. Trust them to guide you through the buying process with professionalism and expertise. Contact 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐥 Group of Charlotte today at 704-397-3661 and by visiting wearenework.com and let them help you find your perfect place to call home. 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐥 Group of Charlotte, North Carolina. Another P word is passion. How does that word make you feel whenever you think about it?
Passion is powerful for me as well. Man, I have a lot of great words that I stick with, and passion is being one of those. I just love seeing the people I make happy. When I look through the stories on Instagram and look through, and I'm face to face with the customers, man, that right there can't be beat or bought, man. It's just the excitement from them, and that gives me passion to keep going, right? And I feel like I'm doing something right, even though sometimes I'm like, man, what am I doing, man? Why am I killing myself? But I know the end result that I'm trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah, because you're sowing those seeds, so that what you're doing and the seeds that you're planting manifests into the positive reality that you want to experience. And we all understand that, just like a farmer, he has to get up early. He has to sow those seeds. He has to till the soil. He has to really, really work so that whenever it's time to reap that harvest, the harvest is present to be reaped. We posted a clip. Earlier this week that says that only sowers deserve a harvest. So only the people that's putting in that work deserve to reap the benefit. And even though, like what you were mentioning earlier, that, you were missing time away from your family, is that's the sacrifice that comes along with success. I think majority of the people, like, to win an NBA championship, you gotta play road games.
That's right.
To win a Super Bowl, you got to be away from your family.
That's right.
To be a CEO, you got to be away from your family.
That's right.
And sometimes complacency is not a friend for us, those who want to go after it and make things happen, so that they can be 1 to 5 years away from now, when you can just sit back and let Mike's Vegan be the manifestation that you've worked so hard to achieve.
Yes, sir.
Let's switch it up a little bit. When you hear the word compassion, how does that, what vibration do you experience with that?
Compassion to me is like love, right? Bro, I think I'm addicted to this. I think I'm addicted to the grind. And it's sad to say, man, because I do spend away time from my family a lot, and which they need me. But I'm addicted to showing up every day and being the last one to leave. Does that make sense?
No, I like that, because, you have to also lead by example. So, like, if you're creating this life of comfort, you essentially one day want to experience comfort, to where, like, you're not having to go into your workplace, but you've put in so much work and so much sweat equity into creating such an efficient process that you can then experience the reality that you want.
Yes,
and I think that that comes with a positive word, a popular word is sacrifice.
Sacrifice is huge.
Like sacrifices, that means that you can't receive something without giving something up.
And a lot of stuff's not seen with the sacrifice. They just see what's on camera sometimes. You know, they don't see when you on your knees scrubbing the floor at night or washing dishes and none of that. They just see the food come out the window and it's love, but it's a big grind behind that, man.
Well, how important is it for you to be hands-on with your business?
Sometimes I sit back and watch it, but you know, I think I'm still an employee, and I'm trying to find a way to not be an employee. Does you being hands-on with your business keep you humble though? Yes. I mean, man, I love my staff members, man, and they do an excellent job, man. The customer service level, I try to keep it on a high level, and they know that. I'm not really the guy to get on nobody, man. I just have a conversation and that's it. But, man, the staff members my friend and I were talking this morning, and he was like, bro, you really can't make it on your own, man.
No.
And nothing, bro. You have to have a team like you have a team here.
Absolutely.
Right? And,
absolutely.
Bro, if you try to make it on your own, man, you're going to kill yourself, man. You know, and it kind of comes with greed too, right? But the sacrifice is big, man. And the team is big, man. And they all know the level I'm trying to take it to.
And that's important for people to be able for your team to know your goal. Well, what would you say is your biggest failure in growing and scaling Mike's Vegan?
That's a deep one. My biggest failure.
Because we all like to say, like, what should be your biggest success, and you know, what are the things that you've achieved since you had Mike's Vegan. That's understandable.
Yes, sir.
But people the entrepreneur game isn't for the weak, man.
It's not.
It's not for the weak-minded. It's not for the weak. It's not for the honest to say, it's not for the low self-esteem. It's not for the. It takes a lot of grit and tenacity to continue to work towards something, and you don't see the physical results that you can hold in your hand. So along your journey of having Mike's Vegan, you've had to experience major pitfalls.
There's so many that I can't even think, man.
Give me your top 3.
Biggest failure is, why didn't I get a brand new truck? Because my truck breaks down all the time.
Okay.
You know, I consider that a failure. I feel like, man, you should have put your money where your mouth is instead of doubting your business, thinking it's going to do this, and thinking that you're going to hit every city in North Carolina once a day with a 1999 truck. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's worked. But I actually took the bread and got the business going, you know?
Why didn't you get a new truck?
I went to a couple locations to find out the price points on them, and I was like, man, I could just use that and build a restaurant, you know? But the truck is so valuable, man, because you're able to park at any primetime location with no overhead. You know, all you got to worry about is gas, propane, and the generator running, really. You know? So food trucks is a great investment. You just gotta know what you're doing, and I've been through every trial and error to know this business from A to B to C, you know, and looking to open up doing a course on anybody that's interested in food trucking and branding.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm looking to do something like that because I get a lot of inboxes, believe it or not, from people like, hey, man, I'm starting this business. How can you help me out? And I think it's needed as far as that. And I think a hospitality course is needed too for businesses because we got to realize, even though everything is going to AI, man, hospitality is love.
Yes. Like my team, I have a saying with my team is we are in the hospitality. Everybody's in the hospitality business. So like when you come on set, like you to be greeted, you to be spoke to, you ask if you need anything.
Yes, I saw that as soon as I walked in. Like I said, you got great staff, and
you know, like I
saw all the goodies that you had to choose from, and coffee, and
you at home whenever you come with us because like it's important for you. It's a challenge for people to enjoy what you're about to give them if they don't feel good in the process.
Right,
like the initiation, like of the initiation of the communication of the energy exchange has to be high so that whenever they then digest what you're giving them, whether it's podcast, whether it's interview, whether it's food, anything,
yes,
it's at that high frequency.
Yes.
Because they've had such an amazing experience. Sometimes you can have excellent hospitality and subpar food, and it makes the food taste better.
It does. It does. You know, I look at restaurants like a mini vacation away from home. I mean, like, you're still in your city, but you go to a restaurant to experience something different. It's like a vacation that's not a vacation. So we want to make sure that when the restaurant does open, that everybody is greeted, it's love, music is playing, people vibing, we're singing happy birthday, we're doing a show, and that's what I want Mike's Vegan to be like. That's the vision. Very up by music. Just new feeling, bro.
Yeah. Artists, producers, actors, entertainers. My name is Andrew Covington, and I'm an entertainment lawyer. People always ask me, why do I need an entertainment lawyer? As an entertainment lawyer, I can help you navigate contracts, negotiate deals, protect your intellectual property, and ensure that you get paid what you deserve. Having me as an entertainment lawyer on your team, you can focus on your craft and leave the legal matters to us. Don't let legal issues hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Hire an entertainment lawyer today.
This new energy. Yes. Well, how has the journey been opening the restaurant? Let's talk about the restaurant.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Because the restaurant has not been that easy. It looks like it's easy from, looking in, but man, you start off with an old building. It was built in 1960. You got to realize that the kitchen is old. You have to realize that now that, with things going, we have to add grease traps so the city water doesn't get contaminated like they used to. They used to not have grease traps, but now it's by city law that you have to have a grease trap. That's another process. I mean, I seen them breaking the tiles and breaking the concrete and digging to my waist to install this thing in the kitchen. I'm like, man, this thing is never gonna get done.
Wow.
But it got done and it's required, so we had to put it in. From painting, from the designs to the painters, to one of my good friends, Julian Jeffries, he's an artist. He painted all kind of cool things inside. Okay. And also now the food truck is there, so it's kind of promoting the restaurant. But man, it's been 16-hour days. Wow. From dealing with and honestly, bro, I was the general contractor. I didn't hire a general contractor. One good amigo, and I speak Spanish. I'm from Panama, Central America, where my mom is. And bro, I found one good amigo. The amigo found another amigo, and we got this thing done.
Get this thing popping.
Yes.
Right. And so I mean, that's what's up, man. I think it's essential for people to be able to know, it's not all sweet.
No, it's not like I had a bunch of money that here, do this and get this done.
Right. And sometimes that's what social media and TV kind of portrays, right? It's like you have this, you got a couple $100,000 sitting to the side. Right. You just contract with whoever, you get it done, and boom, your restaurant opens up.
And bro, not to mention that I had to change the name once I already laid everything down.
So you've changed the name from Mike's Vegan Cookout
to Mike's Vegan Grill.
Why?
I don't know if I could talk about it because of illegal fees, but just know that one of the names in that name came after me.
Okay.
And wanted their name to be their name, and I felt like it was just like what such and such pizzeria or such and such grill or such and such whatever. I thought it was just So I had to talk to the attorney, and they said, "Man, we happy if you just change the name completely." So I said,
how was that experience? How did that make you feel? So you've been working with this since 2019.
It kind of made me feel stuck. Like, okay, man, now I just put the sign up. I got the tables wrapped. I got the menu made. I got this done. My Instagram name, everything. It kind of made me like, okay, well, I kept it for like a week later still, just trying to think of what to do with it. And I try to come up with different names as, Grill or just Mike's Vegan or whatever. But Grill stuck with me because, eventually we are gonna serve breakfast in the morning, good vegan breakfast, which I'm kind of doing now, just to experiment with it. And nice. It was just another chunk of change that had to come out the pocket to redo everything again. Once you already had everything laid, and you're not even open yet. But thank God that we're not open while this happened.
Right.
Imagine if the paper products that I've ordered 40,000 units of burger boxes, paper bags, fry cups,
custom
with the name on it. Imagine if that got done.
Whoa.
So I think everything
So sometimes
happens for a reason.
it happens for a reason and
Yes.
in divine timing.
Yes.
So you have your restaurant.
Yes.
You have the original name on the tables, wrapped in the tables,
Yes.
sign up outside.
Yes.
You get a call from an attorney saying,
got to change his name.
you have to change this name.
Yes.
And so, so I mean, that can be heartbreaking. That can be frustrating. That can be, you can experience various different types of emotions with that. But I think once all those emotions subside, you have to then start thinking, like, how can I pivot?
Right.
Or how can I, you have some people out here that experience that thing and they say, you know what, I'm not changing it. I'm gonna fight it. What made you not want to get into a legal battle?
I just didn't want to keep fighting this out for years and years and spending all this money, man. So I was like, man, I figured it'd be cheaper just to change it.
Okay.
Cause
so you weren't attached to the original name.
I was attached, but sometimes you got to change up, man. I think Jesus changed all his disciples' name and they became who they became, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just like, change it, man. You can excel from this. We rebranded. We got new logos and
sometimes like this could be it could be the fresh start that could propel you to another level. So whereas you were operating with an older name, older energy, older way of doing things, now, especially with spring equinox has just passed.
Yes.
And now it's like, okay, it's a renewal.
Right.
Renewal of energy, a turnover.
That's right.
The things that were once dead are now alive.
That's right.
And so you now can attach yourself to nature, as we are supposed to be as spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
You can now attach yourself to nature and say, this is divine timing.
That's right.
That this happens.
I
and
like that
use
you
that,
said that.
and use that to propel you
Yes.
to the next level, because nature is here for our benefit.
Yes.
And if we can really pay attention to the signs and the patterns of what happens in our life and say, it's not a surprise that
crazy, right?
That this is happening, a few months or weeks before the spring equinox, and this can be the energy that pushes you to the next level to get you to that goal.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. So
man, now that you say that, I went to a Tony Robbins seminar, man. It was probably one of the best experiences I ever had, man. If anybody's interested in Tony Robbins, I suggest that you go to Unleash the Power Within. His seminar's 4 days long. It's fully immersed, 12 hours of jumping around, just bringing the best out of you.
Nice.
And this is before I started working on the restaurant. I went to this just so I can get my mind right. But he talked about the seasons. He talked about how your life are seasons. You start with, I guess he said you start with spring, where you're born and everything's beautiful. And in the summer, you're lit, you're ready, and then it starts over again.
Mm-hmm.
And those are patterns of life that we kind of go by.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I feel like it is springtime. I think we just went through a tough time, and now we're just we're coming back slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
And next is summer.
To have a booming summer. And I think it's essential that we don't experience winter in the spring and the summer, meaning that we can't swim in misery or we can't swim in failures whenever we experience them.
Yes.
So like you can experience a pitfall, it can be your season of winter, right? But you don't have to let that drag on and carry out. You can make a conscious decision
Some
to say.
people do though.
Yeah, they do.
Why do you think so?
I think because they lack awareness. They lack consciousness.
And what about like people that work so hard? Why aren't they at the level of success that a person that just works as hard as them are?
Because they are what they think about.
That's real.
So
like I look at my mother, for instance. I love her to death with my mom. And man, she's a Latina. She came over here with my father, and my father brought her from Panama, and but all she known was working in factories, working hard. And then she became a single mother, worked with 2 kids. But she's always busted a tail. And one thing that I've always regretted was I used to ask her, because I had friends that had money, the families were pretty wealthy, and I used to ask her, like, why don't we live like this? Why do they have a house like this and we live in this little apartment? Or why are we jumping from apartment to apartment? Why are we driving this car? And I feel bad for even doing that, but that's me as a kid, because I was trying to figure out what was the difference between them and my mom that busts her tail every day.
And two, like I think it's a combination of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, right? So
I think so.
So that's kind of that's kind of an equation that's the equation to our reality that we experience. Our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. if all of those things are on a low vibration, we're going to experience a reality that resembles that.
Yes.
And if all those things are on a high vibration, we're going to experience a life that resembles that. And so it's all about but also having the exposure and the awareness of that information. So we live in a society.
You have to want it.
Yeah, you have to want it,
but you also want to search for it.
Correct, but you also got to know you have to be aware of the awareness, if that makes sense.
It does.
You have to be aware that if you're not aware of your awareness, this is what's going to happen in your life.
Yes.
And if you're not aware of that, then essentially you then can experience that swimming pool of misery that we were talking about.
Yes.
That can be unhealthy to you.
I think as human beings, we get caught up in that misery sometimes, but it makes you different if you know how to get out of it.
That's what separates you from other people.
Yes.
But it's also about like the tools and the knowledge, right? To be able to apply and deploy whenever you experience these low vibrational frequencies, right? So it's like, okay, I have the tool I read in such and such book that when you have a negative thought, you're supposed to replace it with a positive one.
Yes.
That is a simple technique that can change your entire day, your entire week, your month, your year by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time?
All the time. Like if you have a negative thought, they say that you should replace it with one of your most positive experiences. So like one of my most positive experiences that I've had was I was in the Dominican Republic with my boys. It was a boys trip, and we rode some 4-wheelers and ATVs down to this beach.
Right.
We rode through the mud, had a good time, rode from the side. But on the last leg of it, you pull up to this beach and you just kind of walk on the beach, get in the water or whatever, rinse off. And I remember just walking on the beach, and to the right of it, it's like I can see it right now, to the right of the ocean or the bay that we was in, it just was this humongous mountain. And it was like the beach, the water and the mountain was meeting together. So it also had like a depth perception to it. So I just remember just having this surreal moment, like just standing there like, wow, it's just gorgeous.
Do you
So
think,
I always replace negative thoughts with that particular thought.
That's deep.
And it raises my frequency. I feel the change.
That's deep. I guess I look at it like, man, I lived in Panama for 4 years, man, and it was probably the lowest point of my life. I went out there to experience my mom's culture. And her family is still living in the slums, man. My grandmother still lives in, she does not want to get out of there. That's what she knows, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember sleeping in the same bed with her every night and just wondering, like, what am I doing here? What's my purpose here? So I was 18 years old at the time, to about 22. And I go back to those moments, you know, of taking buses, of getting robbed at gunpoint, and all the stuff that's happened to me, being homeless out there because I didn't have the key to get in when my grandmother was out in the United States. Well, here, I didn't have a copy of the key. I would have to sleep outside until I had the money to pay a locksmith to open the door for me.
Wow.
But in a third world country, man, I take back to those moments and realize, like, I don't ever want to live like that again. Mm-hmm. And that brings me back a juice of energy. Like, hey, we got to, I really know what the value of being a human being is and a dollar from those experiences. Because
you've hit rock bottom before.
And so you say you went to that, I kind of go to a different moment. But there is also beautiful moments that you through that pain that.
And both of us are using the same type of law as transmutation, right?
Yes.
So it's like we're transmuting from a particular event that would then make us transform that energy. So like that's why alchemists were so special in ancient times, because they can take metal and turn it to gold. So like you take your lowest moments and you turn it and you use that energy to boost you to high moments.
Yes.
Like, and if I experience a negative thought, I take a higher frequency and I use that to transmute me and bring me back up to a higher frequency.
Yes.
So like we're both, like, I don't know if you read the book The Alchemist, but we're both Santiago, right? Yes. Like we're all Santiagos out here and living in this reality, and we're on this journey throughout life to learn and apply different lessons along the way so that we can then live in life of abundance.
Yes.
And I think that's essential for us to continue to do. What has been your biggest success? Mm-hmm. What is the moment that you're most proud of within your journey?
There's two moments, man. First moment was getting the food truck. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the business now, right? And then the second moment is just when I had the keys to that building. It's like, man, it's time to go. And I've been so patient, bro. 7 months.
What was your initial emotional feeling? Like, you got the keys to the building. What was your first thought?
The first thing I thought was I visualized this place being packed out.
You walked inside and you started just visualizing.
Man, I just visualized people having a good time, sitting, laughing, enjoying themselves. No bad moments, man. Lines out the door. And that's what I visioned for Mike's Vegan Cookout, man. And it happened, bro. Mm-hmm. I would meditate on this on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Or I would do affirmations in the shower. Mike's Vegan Cookout would do this much a day. The Mike's Vegan Cookout would do. Mm-hmm. And, bro, if it did not happen, bro, I'm not here right now. Mm-hmm. It happened, bro.
Yes.
And I would do it every time. Mike's Vegan Cookout would have this, and I would just keep pumping it. And that's kind of what I'm doing now with the restaurant because, man, I just want to. Right now, I'm the underdog with all these restaurants, right? In Greensboro, North Carolina, they're all popping with their styles and stuff. But I'm and a couple others are like the only vegan options here. So how can we get the traffic from these big restaurants, as like your Olive Gardens, your Texas Roadhouses, these big corporations, and bring that good vibe to this spot? So I'm thinking all in my head and trying to manifest this moment, man. So come the end of April, man, I hope to see everybody come out and, I hope it goes smoothly. There's going to be a couple of nicks in the road, but, we'll figure them out.
No, what you said was powerful. So, like, manifestation is plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. That's the equation to manifestation. And so, like, as we term this episode, the vegan manifestation, is to really display your life. You know what I'm saying? Your life of who you are, the tenacity and the perseverance that you've had to put forth to get to the level where you are right now. So your plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances is what has shaped your reality. So for you to verbally affirm, verbally out loud while in the shower, the amount of money that you were going to make.
Yes.
And you to then make that amount of money is vibration because you verbally said it. You put it out into the universe and it echoed on the frequency that matched your goals and your achievements of the things you wanted to achieve. That's why you always made it.
Yes, sir.
And then you affirming that and you believing that and you writing it down and you visualizing it. Like that's what the visualization is what a lot of people don't really understand the power of that. Like Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, all of those men recommend that you sit 30 minutes and just visualize your life. Visualize.
That's deep.
Visualize. Just what do you see?
Grow rich.
And see it from your eyes too. Don't see it from an aerial view of like a drone type shot of Mike walking into a restaurant. No, you see yourself.
Yes.
With your eyes walking into a restaurant and you're seeing it packed out, the line down the road. People really can't begging to get in, trying to get a reservation. You see another location opening up in North Carolina. You see another one opening up in Georgia. You see another one opening up in DC.
Yes, sir.
Like those are things that you see and you speak and they will become and manifest into this reality because they align with your plots, plans, conditions, and your circumstances.
Yes, sir.
It's essential for us to really figure out the equations of life, right? Like you found out that the equation for your one of the equations for your success for Mike's Vegan is the fact that whenever you affirm and visualize it, it comes into fruition.
Yes.
That's an equation. And so that goes back to what you asked me earlier about why there are people that want to live a certain life that don't, is because they don't affirm and visualize the life that they want.
Yeah, and I've seen myself doing certain steps that other people wonder why I do. Mm-hmm. Like if I go to the park and walk and then meditate or journal, not everybody does that.
No.
And that kind of sets you apart from everybody. So
you got to be willing to do things that others don't do.
For sure. When you see people doing that and they actually talk about how it works for them and you try it out and you might not see no results in the first month, 2 months, a year, but if you stick to it, man,
I agree.
It definitely works.
I agree. Like I'm of the belief that I am the divine creator in my life, right? Like I am 100% responsible for my success and my failures and my choices. And with knowing that knowledge and having that level of awareness in my life, it makes me so super conscious of every single decision that I make. I'm accountable.
Yeah.
So if I make this particular decision and it yields this result, I'm accountable.
Yes.
If I make this decision and it's a failure, I'm accountable. If I make this decision and it's a success, I'm accountable. So like I'm 100% accountable for my actions. So I'm super conscious of how I go about doing things in life, because I have to make sure that I have to be completely aware of what I'm doing.
Do you ever question yourself on the things that you're doing? Are they right?
Yeah, I do.
I do all the time.
I do. And I think that the way that I affirm that they're right is by the way other people feel during those experiences. And I think that's like a raw byproduct of what are you doing, and do it and then see how people react to it.
Yes.
Like have high hospitality and positive energy and see if people are smiling, laughing while eating your food in your restaurant. That is a direct correlation to
that fulfills me.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Like if you have a question, am I doing this right? Just stop what you're doing, come from the back, look out there and see what type of experience are people having in the restaurant. What type of experience are people, like I remember one time I was at Mike Vegan Truck. Like we actually used to go, like we used to film.
Thank you.
Last year we would film, and then after every filming on a Saturday we would go to the Raleigh Truck.
Oh, thank you so much.
So like that was like our little thing that we would do. And like one thing about like my personal experience before I even knew you, anything, like I used to go to Mike's Vegan, and like people used to be eating the hot dogs before they even got away from the truck.
Yes.
So like before they even got in the car, before they even got to the table, whatever, they're eating it. And so like some of my biggest moments and things that I remember about Mike's Vegan was my experiences, whether I'm with my fiance, whether I'm with my friends, like they've all been positive because the people at the truck have been positive. And so like I think what you're doing, I can affirm as a customer that what you're doing is working. You just have to continue taking the right, left.
Sometimes you wonder if what we're doing is right. Like, I'm glad that I didn't know who you were at the time, and you still gave me this experience that you had with Mike's. And I wonder if it's like that for everybody. You know, not everybody's going to want the certain things. People may are a little needy and want more attention or want more sauce or something.
Right.
And you just want to know, you want to make sure that they, like the game of hospitality, you just want to make sure they get everything right. And sometimes we do get some complaints, you know, about certain things.
But that's natural, right?
But that's natural. And sometimes it does bring me down, like, man, we could have did this better. And then you have a conversation with the team about the situation.
Like, do you believe that, I think in the business of hospitality, you have to manage expectations.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like you have to say like, okay, our goal is to make sure we have 250 customers today. We want to make sure 225 of them are extremely happy.
Yes.
Because
you can't make everybody happy.
You can't.
Because people have different emotions. And
correct.
They could come to the truck mad. They
had a long day at work.
Had a long day at work, and they didn't get their food the way they wanted it. And, you know, I could say we do try our best to make sure that stuff is hot and ready, and it does get a little sloppy, but
it's natural.
It's part of it.
It's natural. How has it been delegating, like as a business owner, right? So how has it been delegating, and the experience of being the leader and the CEO and the entrepreneur? Like, it's a challenge to sometimes delegate a task because you want to be so hands-on to make sure that the product comes out the way you want it to.
It's tough, you know, and I still got a lot of work to do. I am very new to the restaurant game, man. I consider 4 years still new, man. I know people that's been in the restaurant business 20-some years, you know, and still at it. And I look at myself and I look at them like, man, they got it all, but they're still in their environment. How can I set up an establishment where I can kind of walk away and let it run on its own? And that's with team and people that are responsible. That's important to have interviews and stuff like that. But, man, I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things, man.
Good.
It's tough. And that's why I said sometimes I catch myself sitting in the car outside the restaurant for like 30 minutes. Like, man, sometimes I'm down on myself. I guess because it's an uncomfortable feeling right now for me. And
the unknown.
And the uncomfortable feeling is powerful too at the same time.
Absolutely.
It also makes you feel like you're doing something right.
And think about it though. When you think about your journey and you think about your success, you don't think about the highs. You already said it.
You think
your
about the
lows are what your lows are what got you pushing yourself to do what you're doing right now.
Yes, sir.
So like when we are experiencing what we want to signify as the lows, we have to appreciate those moments.
You do.
Because we understand that that's going to be a part of the story.
That's right.
Right? So I think that's something, sometimes people shun the lows. Like they shun the failures. They shun the missteps. They shun those things that really are that's what molds you to be the person that you are.
Sometimes you forget about those moments, man. Sometimes you're so high up sometimes that you forget about those moments. And that's why I like to say, I like to go back to those moments. To make you realize, man, how much work you done put in, bro. Like, you may not feel like you're doing something right, man, but you're making a lot of people happy. And that was my whole goal, man, is to change the world on their eating habits. And then I'm doing it, like I said, I'm doing it in a barbecue state, man. I mean, I could see in LA or Miami or these big cities, but man, North Carolina, man, we're known for
that swine.
Yeah, man. And it's amazing, the outcome, right? And there's a lot more room to grow. And that's the beauty of this restaurant, which I told you I get uncomfortable, but I know what the end goal is. I visualize it, I see it, I feel it, I touch it, I taste it. And I like I said, man, I just want to make everybody happy. And I know I can't make everybody happy, but I pray that I make majority of the people that eat my food or come in contact with me, make them feel like they had a better day or felt like they did something right, man. And I think that's my purpose.
Nice. Now, say this. Let's say, for instance, I'm a potential individual that wants to open up a food truck.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming to you my boy Mike. Hey, how much money do I need?
Yes.
I'm talking about to get started. I want to be open in 3 months. I want to serve my first customer. I want to have all my licenses, my paperwork in order. Just realistically speaking, how much money do I need? Well,
man, first you got to figure out what you want to sell.
Okay.
Because you're not just going to jump out there and get a food truck and be like, I'm not going to let you waste your money like that. You got to figure out what you want to sell, how you want to cater to your people, what kind of following do you want. And then once you come to me with those ideas, now we can discuss what should work for you. Certain situations could be a food trailer, certain situations could be a food truck, or certain situations could be a brick and mortar. But if it's something different, nice, and something that you think, and I believe, if you're telling me and you believe in this product, I believe in you. It depends, man. I would say start off like I did, man, with a little food trailer, man.
So let's say we putting a number on.
Probably 35,000 for a little food trailer, but then you got to get a truck on top of that to pull it.
So say
probably about $70,000.
$70,000.
Yes.
So you want to have a food trailer, a truck. You have all your licenses, your materials, all that staff, maybe 1 or 2 staff members.
I think you'll be okay with a food trailer. Yes. Okay. On top.
Can you do it less than that?
You probably can with something used, which I highly recommend. You get something used, you try it out, trial and error. Just to wrap a truck is $5,000. Just to wrap the truck, the tires, the everything in the kitchen, to get the kitchen built. But there's a lot of if you go on Facebook Marketplace, there's a lot of options for you.
So let's say, for instance, we're looking at a trailer, and let's say the trailer you started renting your trailer for $2,500 a month.
Yes.
But if you wanted
high.
Right. So, but if you wanted to buy a trailer, about how much is a trailer?
I think last time I looked, we're talking about the 30 range.
About 30,000. Let's say, for instance, 30,000.
I think that's like a 10-footer.
Okay. And let's say, for instance, to build a kitchen, to have a kitchen inside the trailer,
it's probably gonna cost you another $15,000.
But
we're talking about two different things. That's me buying a brand new trailer, getting it outbuilt. But you can find used trailers that already has the kitchen in line. Yes.
Okay. All right, so something like that already has a kitchen in line, that's more so around like 15,000, 20,000 range?
No, probably 30,000.
30,000.
Yes.
Okay. So this isn't like something that somebody can just hop up the next morning and just go do, or it's not recommended.
I mean, bro, like I said, I was blessed by God that somebody was able to rent me a trailer first.
Right.
Right. And I think there's still options out there. You could probably search them where you can find a ghost trailer and rent it and go out in the field and get your insurance on it and head your way.
So we're looking at about 30,000. So let's transition to food truck.
Yes.
Right. So food truck, a bigger difference. Let's say, for instance, you find something used, already has a kitchen in it. Well, what amount are you looking at?
2019, I bought a 1999 Workhorse P42. It didn't have a kitchen. It was built from scratch. but the company in Miami was the one that built it for us. And man, as soon as I got it, it was beautiful, man. It was wrapped in everything. But for that truck, we paid around, I think, $70,000.
$70,000.
But that's not including the tow to get it, bring it here.
So you got to.
And then on top of that, when I drove it 10 minutes down the highway, transmission went out.
What?
So I had to get a new transmission. And no tow truck wanted to come. Man, I'm excited in my brand new truck.
Wrapped.
Side of 85.
It's wrapped in everything.
Wrapped in everything. And no tow truck would want to come
10 minutes
get me.
down, you get in, you ride in 10 minutes.
Yes.
And the transmission goes out.
Yes.
And then a tow truck, there's not a tow truck that wants to come pick it up.
No, so I'm out there in the cold, and this is the cold, mind you, like December, late December. And no tow truck wanted to cooperate with my insurance company that I had on the truck already. So I had to, what they said they were going to keep calling me back. And I was sitting there. Next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting in the truck by myself. And I'm not letting it go. My wife could have came and picked me up, but I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, is this what it is? Is this really what it is right now?
Right.
So, and then a tow truck comes and picks me up, takes me home. And, a week later, the transmission really goes out. I thought it was just a sensor at first. So in that process of getting the transmission ordered, man, I told people I was going to come, and I came. And I towed the truck everywhere I had to go.
Wow.
Yes, I towed it to Raleigh, to Chapel Hill, to Greensboro. I can't tell you where I have not towed this truck to.
Hold on.
To serve people.
The transmission's not working.
No, but I towed it.
But to serve people, you towed the truck.
Yes.
From city to city.
Yes.
To still serve people.
To tow it there and then wait for us to clean the truck and then tow it back.
That's perseverance.
I think that's why the people show so much love, man. Because
that's perseverance.
I try.
That's grit. To get there. That's grit. A lot of people would say, I'm not gonna.
And there's posts on Instagram. You can see them. If you scroll down far enough, you'll see the tow truck. I always share moments. If the tire busted, if the fryer fell to the side, I just want to show people what this really is.
Wow.
And I think it's a blessing to have almost 50,000 followers on Instagram alone, and I think I have like 30,000 on Facebook, but I think part of those journeys was like, man, and Tabitha Brown came out and ate, and Chris Paul came out and ate, and Jasmine Sullivan came out and ate, and I think them posting it on their story gained the following. But I've always was transparent with what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Now, how is it? So we're gonna go back to Tabitha, and because I love her.
She's
I
a
love
blessing,
her.
man.
Another North Carolinian, She's
a sweetheart, man. She is real, man.
Yeah. What was your experience of serving her? Because I saw the post.
Very beautiful.
Post went crazy.
Man, I gained like 10,000 followers.
So she's so super authentic. She's a very big advocate for
very family oriented,
being vegan and plant-based options. So like, what was your experience of serving her and meeting her and blessing her with your food?
My wife kind of ran the social media at the time, and she said, "Babe, Tabitha Brown's in town and she wants to eat." I said, "Well, we'll get her one of everything."
I saw that, yeah.
One of everything. I'm gonna make sure she tries everything.
And she was going down it like a buffet too.
Yes,
and they was arguing over the hot dogs.
Families was
they were arguing over the hot dogs.
Yeah,
so
and her father, man, shout out to her father. He comes at least once every two weeks.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Still to this day.
Nice.
And I still talk to her on Instagram. She's a very sweet lady, man. And she invited us to her hotel. I had the branded boxes at the time. And I went up and I knocked on the door, and all of a sudden she had her camera out, I'm like, it's go time. So we enjoyed that moment. She introduced us to everybody. They started eating, and man, she put us right there and then uploaded it.
Boom.
As soon as we left.
Super authentic, man.
Authentic, man. And all of a sudden said, boom, I'm here because of Tabitha. I'm here because of Tabitha. Every other customer was up here. And I tell you the truth, man. After that happened, the whole month of that month that happened, man, we did not have a day where we didn't do over 200 tickets.
Wow.
Just from her impact.
Wow. That's love.
Yes.
That's love.
It's a blessing, man.
That's love.
And Tabitha, if she's watched this, man, I love you, and I thank you for just coming to a small business like mine and and showing the love.
We gonna name this clip the Tabitha Brown effect.
Yes, because her effect is real.
That's
man.
what's up, man.
Then that's why I see where she is now, man. She's such a great human being.
The authenticity.
And a big believer in God and family.
Hey, looking for your dream home in Raleigh, North Carolina? Look no further than Duncan Prime Realty. Brandon Duncan is an experienced real estate professional and is dedicated to helping you find the perfect home for your needs and lifestyle. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or looking to upgrade, Duncan Prime Realty has the expertise to guide you through the process from start to finish. From charming bungalows to modern luxury homes, Duncan Prime Realty has a wide range of properties to suit every taste and budget. So why wait? Contact Duncan Prime Realty today and let him help you find your dream home in Raleigh, North Carolina and other surrounding cities. Contact Brandon at 919-808-2001 and Brandon at DuncanPrimeRealty.com. Yeah, I think we got a lot of strong people coming out of North Carolina.
Yes.
That are moving and shaking and really making things happen and and really having a significant impact on the world and also with plant being vegan. I think like I have a conversation. Me and my fiance, we both vegan, and we have this conversation with our family all the time about how like food is medicine.
It is.
And what you put into your body is what manifests on the outside. So like a lot of times if you're having difficulty sleeping, it's based on your diet. If you're having difficulty focus, it's based on your diet. If you're having challenges with your health, directly associated with your diet. So like we have to look at society has really bred us to look at food as comfort. Whereas we should be looking at food as fuel, as eating to live and not living to eat, and really looking at the impact of the type of foods that we're engaging with, right?
Yes.
And how that directly correlates with how we feel and how we are as human beings.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. My health hasn't been the best.
What have you been experiencing?
Just because I eat Mike's every day.
Okay.
Because it's there. I have to try the chili out, make sure it's on point, and this and that. And I'm telling this to my followers. It's a good cheat meal. It's not something that you're gonna lose weight on or nothing like that. As far as my wife, man, she makes the best like raw vegan diet meals out there, man, and I try to eat those when I can.
So like as a vegan owner of a comfort vegan restaurant, like what are some ways that you can improve like your diet, right? So you admit that, okay, like Mike's Vegan, this is a cheat meal. Like you want your customers, you want a high volume of customers that can cycle in and out, but you don't want them to, you're not like some of the major big fast food restaurants that don't care about your customers' health. Like you don't recommend that they come every day.
It ain't about the money, man.
Right.
I'm just telling you, this is a good alternative. If you're trying to start plant-based diet, this is a good way to show you what it's kind of like, right? And it's good to bring your family on a Friday night, Saturday night, or Tuesday night, whatever you want to do, and come enjoy this food. But the fries are still French fries, right?
My mama asked me those. She'd be like, "How you eating them fries? Them vegan French fries?"
Nah, French fries and potatoes. Yeah. Bread. I use these vegan Hawaiian buns, and it's bread.
Bread's, they good, but it's bread.
It's bread. So now, I've also thought about creating a like a protein bowl.
Okay.
Like a power bowl.
Okay.
With like black beans, Beyond Meat, and different toppings.
Sweet potatoes, kale,
stuff like that, just to give an option for me too when I'm on the truck or running the restaurant that I could eat.
Those are fly. Those will fly.
So I think that's a good. I was talking to my partner about it as well, and I was like, man, I think we need to put something that's like a power bowl, not a salad. It's just like a protein.
Have you ever
bowl.
thought about a wrap?
I have, man, but I'm just trying to. No, it's not a challenge. I don't know, man. I think other companies do. I try to do certain things that other people aren't doing. So
is that why you ventured into?
That's why I do quesadillas and
the breakfast now.
Breakfast that I haven't seen a southern breakfast out here that's vegan. French toast, pancakes, omelets.
Wow.
Breakfast potatoes. What else? Sausage, vegan sausage.
Nice.
So I try to make it like a platter.
Nice.
And it worked out really good, man. It's just the time on it. You leave a shift on Friday, and you get done at like 10, and then you don't go to sleep. I don't go to sleep till about 11:30. I'm either doing something, and then wake up at 5 to get everything ready for the morning, and then do that till 10:30. And then start your lunch. But
And I think that's important for people to know because like the restaurant business is not like a 9 to 5.
nah,
It's not 9 to 5, right? So like the restaurant business is like it takes time, it takes
does.
energy, it takes you being on site. This is not a work from home job.
yes,
You know, this ain't something you do every now and then if you want to
Yes.
be successful.
That's right.
It's something that takes a lot of hours and a lot of energy
Yes,
to put
sir.
into.
yes, sir.
And I think, man, thank you, man. I think
Man, thank you, man.
I think your story is remarkable. I mean, we talking about
Thank you.
We talking about you jumping out, you know, for $2,500 a month to rent a truck. We talking about you recognizing you having the awareness that, you know, of the benefits of purchasing the truck versus renting one. You have the awareness. You went down to Panama for 4 years. You hit rock bottom. You understood what being on your lowest vibration, what that feels like. Then you actually purchase a food truck and the transmission go out, and you
I
already,
bought another food truck, then I bought another food truck.
how many trucks you bought?
3.
Wow, and then that allows you to spread yourself out.
Yeah, but I was
around the
going
state.
too fast, bro.
Okay,
So it's best that I learned with those instead of a restaurant. right?
absolutely. And so it's important to have that awareness, right? Again,
Yes.
we're back to awareness. Like some people aren't aware of the awareness, so that when they experience things like you're moving too fast, like you're putting too many food trucks around the state
It
at
was
one
hard
time.
for me to manage.
Yeah, you doing that. That's actually you doing too much and moving too fast.
Yes.
And so like you experience those things as well, which is a lesson that a lot of people don't learn, and sometimes it's a costly one
It
whenever
can
they do
cause
it
some
with
people to fall bad,
yeah,
fail bad.
you can lose everything.
Yes.
You can lose everything. So now that you have the restaurant, you're gonna scale slowly and make sure that it's manageable whenever
Yes,
you
sir.
do it.
Make sure all the blueprints are in line. Make sure that the flow is steady, and make sure that people are in play to make this happen. And then I take that blueprint and I replicate it and replicate it and replicate it and replicate it.
So man, much love, man. Thank you for your
brother.
transparency.
No, man, thank you.
Thank you for being open, and
Yes,
thank you
sir.
for your honesty. Thank you for really, really just, you know, showing us, letting us into the world of Mike.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's important for people that follow you, that you inspire, that they see, all right, this is the reality of what it is to be an entrepreneur, to be a man, to be a father, to be a husband, to be an individual who is working towards something, affirming his reality,
Yes, sir.
speaking his reality into existence, and really, really living the vegan manifestation
Thank you.
of somebody who is a vegan entrepreneur who's pushing Mike's Vegan Grill to the next level,
Yes, sir.
and who has a vision and who is really manifesting this reality. So
Yes, sir.
plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances are aligning in your favor, and I love seeing it. I love seeing your journey, and I know that it's going to be a supremely successful one.
Thank you, man.
Sure.
And I just want to say, man, thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I enjoyed every moment of
Absolutely,
it.
man.
I felt like home, man, and I just want to really thank you for letting me share my story to the people that's watching, and just know that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be stuck in the grind. You got to have faith, and you got to believe all the way.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Much love, man.
Thank you, brother. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, my
That was
brother.
good,
Yes, sir.
man.
Thank you, man.
Good. That was good. That was good.
Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio.